a couple of weeks ago, I had this idea I proposed of sharing our Sunday sermons, whatever we take away from church, online with everybody else, and then putting a link to that sermon if possible. So that's what I'm doing today. I had the opportunity to be with my good friend Keegan over here in Hot Springs, South Dakota at the Wesleyan Church, and we were in Philippians today. So Philippians, Paul's talking about in chapter 3, verses 17 on, he's talking about this idea of citizenship, and that our citizenship is in heaven if we're Christians, right? If we're born again, if we've chosen to accept the offer from the Lord, because the Lord's knocking on the door of our hearts daily. If we've chosen to follow Christ, we are citizens of heaven, and kind of what that should look like. And he went into a lot of detail of what it looks like if we choose to reject Christ, if we're choosing to live for the world. And he says, Paul even says that they live as enemies of the cross. So he went into a lot of detail of that. Their destiny is destruction, their God is their stomach, their glory is their shame. But he says, we are eagerly waiting a Savior. We're eagerly waiting this huge transition that's going to happen in all of humanity, because we know that Christ is coming. He's going to reign again, and just the hope that we have in that. Paul starts it off saying, one of my favorite scriptures, something I strive to be able to say one day. He says, follow my example, brothers and sisters. And I just think that's so powerful, to be at a point in your spiritual walk where you're like, follow me. And so that's what Paul's doing. Of course, all of Paul's writings, but in Philippians, he talks about how we can live out that life, how we can live as if we are citizens of heaven. And so my buddy, Pastor Keegan, did such an amazing job. I'm going to have a link to that whole sermon right here in the comments section, so make sure and check that out. But that's it, guys. If you want to get some encouragement, head over to Philippians 3, and let's live as citizens of heaven.